The goal has been accomplished. Welcome back to another episode of the Oakland A's franchise, even though this is an unnumbered episode. Just completed the off season. We have completed our goal of winning a title for the Oakland A's for the first time since 1989. Side note, I want to thank everyone who corrected me on that. I mistakenly said 90. Said 89. It's 89, not 90. So thank you guys so much for that. But there's still work to be done. Can we defend the title? Can we go back to back? Can we build a dynasty out of this Oakland team? Well, if the offseason is any indication of how this will go, let's temper our expectations a little bit. The breakdown of this video is the following. We're going to quickly go over the players that we lost, because we did lose quite a bit. I'm going to show you what team they went to, briefly touch on the contracts that they got, and then we're going to go over our major league roster. We're not really going to talk about prospects because I'm really hoping to bring back the prospect preview if time is allowed. So that is the plan. Thank you guys so much for, if you've been on this ride, whether this is your first episode or you've been here the whole time, thank you so much for the ride. I appreciate the feedback, appreciate the likes, even the dislikes. You know, some people just dislike the stuff, but hey, what are you going to do, right? I'm just doing this for fun. This is a hobby for me. And if you like it, thank you so much. Let's get into it. Let's talk about the players we lost first, and we won't have to go far. So here I am on the Houston Astros. This is our first stop as they got Rafael Devers in free agency. Surprisingly enough, we had some players opt out of the last year of their contract, with Rafael Devers being one. And it was unsure if we were going to bring him back. I wanted to keep him. We put in a good offer, but he chose to go to the Astros. So we're going to rub salt in the wound. Not only did we lose him, but we lost him to a team in our own division that will probably win the division this year based on paper stats. So there's your contract for Devers, 29 years old. Long-term deal, just to put it nicely. 8 years and whatever the money was. I don't remember the actual contract, but they gave him an 8-year contract. So Devers is gone. Let's move on to the next one. With the Texas Rangers, another team in the division that managed to pick apart one of our free agent potentials. Wasn't so upset that we did not get Lucas Sims back, but it would have been nice to keep him back. As you can see later on in the video, make sure you stay tuned. We may have found a temporary solution, but that's later on. Here is now. Lucas Sims going to the Rangers. 5-year deal. They give him a lot of money, too. I believe it's like, I don't know, 45, 50, $60 million, something like that. Well-deserved, too, with the season he had with us last year. Unfortunately, we're going to be seeing him a lot in a Rangers uniform. So, next we're going to head to the AL Central. We are in the AL Central, and this one probably hurts the most. Austin Meadows being another player that opted out of the last year of his contract. We did offer him some money. There was a good 3 or 4 teams in for Austin Meadows, but he decided to go to the Royals. And this surprised me. 5-year deal, they were going to pay him a lot of money, but he's actually taking less per year with the Royals than what we offered him. But for some reason, he just didn't want to stay with us. You know, he was our best hitter. He was the engine of our offense. That is no more, as he is now a Kansas City Royal. We will keep track of him as the season goes along. Let's go visit one more team in the AL Central. Here we are. We're going to head over to Cleveland, check out the Guardians as they happen to snatch Taylor Hearn from us. Now, we didn't really give Hearn a contract, but I wanted to include him anyway because of what he did with us in the 2 seasons he was with the Oakland A's. He only lost 4 games with us, so we'll take that. 4 games, he was good out of the bullpen, a start here and there, but he was very reliable lefty out of the bullpen, as you can see by his numbers. The Guardians gave him a simple 1-year, $1.6 million deal. So let's see how he does. Probably starting. I don't blame him for going to this team because we had him in the pen. He obviously wants a starting position. Guardians are offering him a starting position. So, well done, Taylor Hearn. Good luck in Cleveland. Let's go over to the NL West. And here we are in the NL West. We're going to go to the Rockies, and Logan Davidson's someone that I wasn't planning on giving a contract to anyway. He was mostly used as a depth piece. Now, I am happy that he went to another team. However, I'm very disgruntled at the fact that it looks like the Rockies are going to have him in the minors. They do have Carlos Correa, so I'm kind of wondering, why did you sign Logan Davidson? 1 year, $1 million. He didn't want to stay, or we didn't offer him anything. So the Rockies picked him up and they slapped him down in AAA. Maybe he'll come up if Correa gets hurt. Who knows? But Davidson didn't really do much for us, and we didn't really have a spot for him. So it was nice to see him move on. We'll see how he does with the Rockies. Let's head over to the other NL West team that picked a very big piece from us. You know, we cannot mention free agency without mentioning the Los Angeles Dodgers. Okay, these Dodgers picked apart probably our biggest pitching, or the biggest pitcher we had hitting free agency, as they picked up Jack Flaherty on a 7-year mega deal. And you know what? We didn't offer Flaherty that much. We knew it would be a hard time keeping Flaherty going into the offseason. We also didn't know if we were going to keep Jack Flaherty going into next year. I thought we did offer him some money, but at the same time, maybe I didn't go as hard as I should have to keep him in an Oakland A uniform. Regardless, he's going to the Dodgers. Good luck in LA. We have two more teams to stop by. Let's head over to the NL Central. Lastly, we're going to hit 2 more teams here in the NL Central. This one kind of hurts. Ramon Laureano. This was a late free agent signing. They didn't sign him until after December. Ramon Laureano, I talked about possibly bringing him back. We were choosing between him and Pinder. Not too upset about this, but it's nice to document where Laureano is going from here. They signed him to a good deal, man. 4 years for Laureano. He's still not totally regressing, so I think with these top prospects the Pirates have been getting over the last couple drafts, he's going to be a nice veteran for that outfield. So, well done, Ramon. Thank you for all you did in the Oakland A's uniform. Good luck in Pittsburgh. Now over to the last team, where this last team picked off 2 pitchers from us. Let's head on over there. Milwaukee Brewers, the last team, got 2 of our, impending free agents, let's be honest. Luis Castillo, they snagged him up on a 1-year, $8.8 million deal. Now, could I have probably brought him back? Maybe, but the point that he was regressing, and we had some nice pitchers that were looking to debut this season for the Oakland A's, you know, it wasn't too hard to let him go, but Milwaukee picked him up on a 1-year, $8.8 million deal. Castillo was pretty solid for us. Good luck in Milwaukee. And last but not least, with no jump cuts, Luke Jackson going over to Milwaukee. 1-year, $2.8 million deal. Was okay for us. Not the best. Definitely not the worst. We did get a ring. So, or we got a title. Whatever you want to say. Luke Jackson, good luck in Milwaukee. Hopefully you do well. Now that I've talked about the players that we have lost, we're going to quickly go over our Major League roster, hitting on the players that we have gained, because we did add some pieces. One of them pretty big. We invested a lot of money into this player. We'll get to him when we get to him. So first, let's look at our starting pitching. The pitching is definitely going to be taking a hit this year compared to last season, and that does concern me. We're already working on that from another angle. But we got Elroy Mack. You know, the rotation hasn't been set. These are just set by rating or your overall. So take everything with a grain of salt until we see what we look like opening day. But Elroy Mack got a lot to prove this year. He was hurt last year after his second start, so we haven't seen a lot of him over the last 2 seasons. But projections are expected him to be an 88 overall by the end of this year. So that screams growth. That screams potential ace in the future. Let's see how he does this year. Hopefully not get hurt. A big acquisition that we got here in Zach Plesac. Now, I know this isn't groundbreaking or earth-shattering signing, but the free agent market for starting pitchers was brutal. We put in money for a couple of good pitchers, including Dylan Cease, but he chose not to go with us. We waited probably a little too long, And Zach Plesac was the man that we decided to add to this rotation. 1 year, $14 million, or 14 million. He's coming off a good season with the Guardians the last 2 years. Don't sleep on Plesac. While he's not going to be our ace, he's definitely going to be someone we may have to rely on. We'll see how he does in Oakland. Of course, we got Mackenzie Gore, Josiah Gray, and Gunnar Hoagland. They're all back for another year. We really are taking another risk on Josiah Gray, but I'm kind of glad we are, as he's got room to grow along with Mackenzie Gore. He's going to grow as well, and we're going to see if Gunnar Hoagland can produce or improve off of his rookie season, where he finished third in the rookie voting. And we'll get to see a debut of Ryan Cusick. Now, as of right now, this gentleman is going to be in our bullpen as a long reliever. That's how he's going to start out. Not exactly pitching material, starting pitching material to me right now. Maybe as he improves and gets higher overall, we can throw him in the rotation. But as for now, he is our long relief. Heading over to our bullpen, it has changed a lot as well. We have kept Jordan Hicks. He's in the last year of his contract. So, welcome back, Jordan Hicks. We managed to also keep Zach Littell. We got Clay Holmes on a 2-year deal, close to, I think it was 10.6 mil that we signed Clay Holmes. I'm happy with that deal. I'm happy to keep him here. We got Mo McDermott, formerly known as Elmo McDermott. I mentioned that I was going to change his name to Mo. So Mo McDermott is back with us, who did pretty well in the postseason. So let's see how he does as a full-time reliever. And we made and we got Tyler Sear, of course, hanging around the bullpen. The one relief signing that we'd made was Richard Blyer, 1 year, 1.3. We needed another lefty to go with Mo, and Blyer has been pretty solid. I mean, you look at these numbers that he did in Colorado, that's not bad for Colorado. So we're going to see how he does in a more pitcher-friendly ballpark, 38 years old. I don't know what to expect out of Blyer, but I'm not kidding when I say this. The reliever market was barren. It was hard to sign a reliever, but we signed a closer. Let's go check out who we signed, shall we? We signed, welcome back to Oakland, Liam Hendriks. Yes, I know. Once again, not earth-shattering, 1 year, $4 million contract. Is he going to be Lucas Sims? Probably not. But I am very excited to have Liam Hendriks and that intensity back in an Oakland A's uniform. He was back here with us in 2020, 2019, where he was great. He's kind of been sliding a little bit, including last year in Atlanta. But hopefully he could find that former mojo in Oakland with Liam Hendriks as our closer for a year. We'll go from there. Catching hasn't really changed. Shea Langoliers and Rafael Marchand is still here. Marchand in the last year of his contract. And Shea with the $1 million deal. So not much has changed at catcher. Same with first base. We got Yoan Moncada, who's in the last year of his contract. Thankfully, he did not opt out of his last year in his player contract, so he's back. And of course, a nice backup in Victor Villanueva, which, small sample size, has been okay. So we're happy with him being called up and being a backup. Second base, a lot of the infield hasn't changed. Second base, Max Muncy. I don't really need to talk about him. He had a great rookie season. He finished second in rookie voting behind Forrest Whitley for the Astros, who won the Rookie of the Year. Congrats to him. We'll see how Muncy performs in his sophomore season. Now, the biggest signing that we got here at third base, we lost Devers. Now, what were we going to do? Were we going to call up Brett Harris? Were we going to look at third baseman? Yes. And I was live streaming this, and A, it got too long, and B, I lost power in the middle of the offseason. So that's why I'm making this video as a recap. We managed to snag up Luis Arias. I don't know how he's going to do. I really don't. The perks look good. The attributes look good. 28 years old. We signed him to a 2-year, $18 million contract. And he got offers from Milwaukee, and I think the Reds were the other teams. So we beat out a couple teams to get Ramon Urias, however you want to say it. I expect big things out of him, judging by these perks and the fact that he's still progressing. He could be a 90 by the end of the year if he does well. So let's hope this was a good signing. Your guess is as good as mine. Shortstop, Robert Poisson back again. As we extended him in spring training, he was our position player that we extended, and I just realized I forgot to cover the the pitcher that we chose as the who we decided to extend in the pitching market. That was Elroy Mack. I can touch on that when he starts. But Robert Poisson is back again, 2-year extension, $8 million after the season, of course. Not much. I want him to be improved on hitting. I think his defense is fantastic. A rookie that we'll see that start will be Richie Farmer. He was drafted 2 years ago, and he's been doing good. He's been doing really. He killed Double-A. He was in Triple-A last year. If I remember correctly, I think I put that he hit 255, 260. Definitely a platoon bat. May see him start against lefties. I don't want to say DH necessarily, but maybe he'll play second. Maybe he'll get a start at third. If he's just a spot starter for now. But looking forward to see what Richie Farmer can do for us. And now in the outfield, we got Chad Pinder starting left field. I'm excited to have Pinder back starting, personally. I think he did good for us coming off the bench, hitting 280. Am I expecting him to do that again? No. But like I said, the outfield market was so bland. Players were getting snatched up everywhere. We were playing for Brandon Nimmo. He chose to go elsewhere. I don't remember who else we offered. It's been a couple days. But I'm expecting to see what Chad Pinder can do. And I'm hoping he can do something. Because of my franchise guidelines, he is not able to be traded. I could put him on the block, but I cannot trade him unless a team offers for him. I cannot trade him. The team has to offer someone for Pinder. So I don't see that happening. 1 year, 2.5. I'm okay with that. And our biggest signing of the offseason. This was huge. We talked about how we weren't sure where Pache was. We talked about how much he struggled in hitting. His defense has been pretty good. And once he's on base, he can swipe some bags. He has kindly made the shift to right field this year. But there were some nice free agent outfielders out there, and we managed to get one. And it was Luis Robert. We signed him to a big deal. We had to. There were so many teams in for him. This was literally the max that we could offer him. I could not offer him any more years. I don't know why. The game would not let me offer anything past 5 years. So I offered him a 5-year contract, $35 million a year. Am I overpaying him? I don't know. I really don't. But based on these statistics, these attributes, the speed, the fielding, the hitting, I think he's going to be a nice replacement for the middle of our lineup, hitting over 300. Let me know down below what you think of Luis Robert. Do you think he will be better or worse than Meadows? Let me know what you think. So, and of course, we needed some speed. We went ahead and signed Tim LaCastro as a backup, kind of a spot starting kind of guy. Late inning speed man. This is what we want. And with that versatility, we can substitute him almost anywhere. So I like the Tim LaCastro signing. He may get a start if an outfielder needs a break. But look at that speed. That's why we sign him. He's our Terrence Gore, if you will. And last but not least, right field, not a lot has changed there. Mitch Haniger will be our designated DH-man. Once again, after winning the DH for the Silver Slugger last season, he was very good. 266, 32 home runs, and he even acquired the Bomber perk. So that is nice to see. Hopefully we can expect some bigger things. I'd be happy if he hit 25 to 30 home runs. That's my expectation, but we'll see what happens. And last but not least, like I said just a minute ago, Christian Pache, making my one defensive adjustment, has been moved to right field to make room for Luis Robert to play center. I think he will do a fantastic job in right field with that speed, covering all that ground to the right center field gap. I think he can pull it off there, and he's got a good arm, so those balls hit in the corner. He can get it in quickly to our Gold Glove infielders, our young bloods, if you will. So Pache and right. So with that being said, that's the roster. That's the major league roster for your 2026 Oakland A's. Now, I'm not going to hit on the other teams unless you guys want to see a video about that. You can let me know in the comments, or you can let me know at Twitter at JustMrLove. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you for opening day in Seattle. Go freaking A's.